Hey, Desties and Bride friends. This is part 2 of how this Desti bride right here planned her Desti wedding in Nassau, Bahamas. This is Chevita, and she got married in 90 days. If you have not heard part 1, you need to pause this, reel back, listen to that, because you'll be a little left out. So you want to hear the first part before you decide to go and jump into the second part. If you don't believe me, hey, you may be a rebel without a cause, and I love that. I love your spirit, so let's keep going with it. But either way, this is part 2. And also, this is Desti TV. So welcome. I am Omi Allen. I'm the hostess of the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings podcast. Season 1 was amazing, and Season 2, we're bringing you videos every single day, helping you plan your Desti wedding. And this is a Desti marathon. Yes, that means that every single day for the rest of December, I will be bringing you and catching you up on Season 1 so that when we start Season 2 on January 1st, you don't have to do your binge. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You are already up to date and you're ready to get this information and to get this wedding planned, and we're going to do it together. I'll be bringing you brand new episodes every day in December, and for January 1st, it will be Monday through Thursday, you and me, with tips and tricks and advice. And every single Friday, there will be a brand new interview, just like this that I'm about to show you, but all video, all face, and smiles and laughs. You'll hear it and you'll wish that you could see it right now, but starting in 2019, you will. And it's good. And it's going to be fun. You're going to be planning that wedding and then be like, ooh, Omi, I can't believe she looked like that. And you brought me that. Ooh, girl, you was the best. Thank you so very much. Ooh, she is pretty. And she telling me all of her stuff and making sure that I can plan my own wedding too. Yes, that's what we do all the time. And that's what we'll continue to do. So it's a Desti marathon. And we are almost done. And you get to enjoy this interview with Chevita. So Desti Chevita, thank you so very much for this interview and for sharing everything. Everyone, you guys, you'll love this. Leave me comments if you have any questions. I will shoot them to Chevita if I need to. And as usual, all photos and details are waiting for you at DESTILAND. The link is in the description below. And yeah, so if you have any questions, make sure you leave those questions. And if you have not subscribed to Desti TV yet, what are you waiting for? Like, I really... subscribe. Thank you. And also ding that bell. And I will see you tomorrow.
So that's how, I feel like if someone else is helping you out, then you kind of owe it to them to, try your best to make their money go as far as possible. And that was my motto, and the reason why I felt like it was okay to send 20 emails back and forth about Chiavari chairs. Because I wanted those chairs, but I wanted the price. You just have to think outside the box if you're a budget bride, like I was. Like for my chairs, I was like, okay, we're gonna have these chairs for the wedding, and then we're gonna move those same chairs for the reception. Don't have me paying for 60 chairs when only 30 people are there.
Now, did you have your guests moving the chairs?
Oh no.
Okay, because I saw this episode of. No, do you ever watch Four Weddings on TLC?
Yes,
yeah, there was an
those
episode.
Look terrible.
Yeah, but there was an episode when they had the guests get up and they had to take their chair and drag it. So I had to.
Yeah, but you know what? I can see how a bride can get in a situation like that when they're like on a budget and they're like, it's gonna cost $500 for us to move these chairs. They're like, oh no, it's not.
Yeah, I need you to do something different then. I need you not to do that. I'm not moving your furniture. So
right. It'd probably be better to have like a standing wedding, maybe something like untraditional, like where everyone stands while you walk down. I don't know.
Right. So, go ahead.
No, I think that was it. Like for the flowers, basically we repurposed a lot of things. For the flowers, the same flowers that were used for the wedding were then used for the reception. They put them on the table, and then my bridesmaids flowers, they relinquished their bouquets after they walked down the aisle and gave them back to the floral people so that they could repurpose them for the tables. And
Oh,
so that was one way to like save some money. And I tried my best to find a bride that was getting married the day before me or the day after me, so we could have split the floral costs. But they like it's like the florists, they don't want you to do that because I'm like, I know you know somebody that's getting married. Like we could do
oh, I
this. Go.
never thought about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I probably would have been flexible on whatever color that bride wanted to do. I would have made my wedding be like the same color or whatever. Because the floral cost, I think we ended up spending like $3,000 or whatever. But we didn't have that between the chairs and the flowers and the decor. We didn't really have that much, but those costs really add up.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but that is very interesting. So yeah, that sounds like a great idea if you were to be able to find something.
Right.
Yeah. So did Leon, your husband,
Yeah.
did he have any tasks that were his responsibility?
No. Leon did not do anything.
He showed up.
He showed up.
Did he pick his tux?
He picked his tux. He got his groomsmen. He told them what tux to wear. But I don't know. At the time, I was like, oh, I wanted him to be more. Okay, so here's the real deal. Leon did not think that I was gonna be able to pull it off. And he was like, we're not going to be able to pull it off on this short amount of time. Then when I said that my parents were paying for it, he was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay. He was like, let's go for it. Cause he just felt like 90 days was not going to be enough if we had to pay for it. And then my parents paid for it. And then he was like, okay, well, I don't know if I think that his way to not be hurt was to be less involved, if that makes sense. Like, he was like, well, what if my friends can't make it? They're not going to be able to come. I don't
He
think that.
didn't want to get his hopes up or get too excited
Exactly.
about it. Yeah.
So then once people were like, we're coming, the plane tickets are booked, then he was like super excited.
Okay, when is Leon's birthday?
He's June 6th. He's
Okay, no.
a Gemini.
Yeah, my fiance is the exact same way. He just didn't want to. I mean, he was. I was excited, and I've been excited about it, and I'm still excited about it. But he was the same exact way. We're not wanting to get, not get his hopes up too much. And we're saying these, but we know everybody might not be able to do it or might not be feeling it. So I'm not gonna get. But as soon as we started getting those, because we had a travel agent, and she would send us like so and so put their deposit down, so and so. But it was like, oh, he started to get really, really excited for real. I'm like, now you're happy. Yes, I've been happy. So must be
It's
a guy thing.
it's true because I feel like in the African American community, maybe other communities as well. But there's always, we have friends that say they're going to go to this event with you, they're going to fly here. And then when it's time to go,
Right.
they're like, oh, I didn't get my passport, or I can't, I forgot about the date. And I think that he was afraid. He was like, I know my people, I know my friends. They can be flakes sometimes. We're young, we're still trying to get our careers going. We're, experiencing a lot of new things, that maybe our parents didn't experience before.
Right.
It's a whole new world where a lot of other cultures, ethnicities have already experienced. I'm the first generation of a wedding, in my family.
Yeah.
And so, and a lot of people, a lot of cultures, they are third, fourth generation of a wedding.
Right.
So it's just different.
Yeah. But it's in the end that I mean, I think you said he got excited. And, in the end, that's the great part about it. Like, your friends are getting their passports and they're traveling and they're going on a beach and they're just having a great time. It's just like, oh, this is amazing. Like, it's great for us, but it's great for everybody.
Yeah, it really was. It ended up being a vacation for everyone. It really was.
Good. Yeah.
It was so amazing. It really was. Woo, just thinking about it. I'm so gonna have a ball. You really, really are. I feel like there's something else that I was supposed to talk about. Oh, the second dress. I bought the second dress from another bride. And the reason why it felt like this was the right thing for me to buy her dress, because I met my husband at this club in New Orleans. She met her husband at the same club in New Orleans. her first dress was a Lazaro. My dress was a Lazaro. I went to law school with her husband. I was like,
But you
and
didn't know him. You did. Did
I
you?
did know him. I knew him.
Oh, so you knew of her.
I knew him, and my husband knew her. So it was like we all knew each other. And so it was like, wow. We went to their wedding too. So that's how we went to their wedding. And I was like, oh, I love your dress. And then she posted that she was selling it, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. And I think it was like $400. No. It might have been like $200 or $300. And so I bought the second dress. And my goal was to wear it for the majority of the reception. But something I was like, I didn't want to take off my first dress. So
Yeah.
you have to be okay with taking off the first dress. And my maid of honor, Candace, she was like, Chevita, take off the dress. You need to put the second dress on. I was like, no, I want to wear it a little bit longer. I just want to cut the cake in it.
Right.
So back on it, I probably could have had, some formal parts of the wedding happen with my big dress on and the other parts. So those are the things I think about. If I had a few things I would redo, I would redo my bachelorette party. I would my wedding dress. I would have made my seamstress make it as tight as I wanted to, because she was like, "No, you won't be able to sit down." I should have been like, "No, make this tight." Because when I look at certain pictures, I'm like, it didn't accentuate my body as much as I think the pictures look amazing. I love that dress, but it could have been a little bit tighter and fit me in a different way. And
Okay.
I was adamant about it, and she just kind of got her way. And I would have put on my second dress earlier. Yeah, like I hate, because when I see sometimes other brides with that dress on. I'm like, see, it's supposed to be tighter in the butt. It really is supposed to be tighter in the butt. Yes, they probably could not sit down at their wedding. They probably couldn't. But for pictures' sake, that dress needed to be tight in the butt. But whatever.
It
My
was
second dress,
gorgeous.
the second dress was awesome. I sold that dress. I sold that dress last year
Your
to my.
Lazaro?
I did. I
Interesting.
Let me see. So that Lazaro, I think you could still buy it for $4,200. I bought it for $2,550 at the store, and it was like only like a half season old at the time when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I was talking to the Lazaro boutique or whatever, and I was asking the price of the dress before I actually bought it, they were like, "Oh, I wouldn't buy that dress. It's probably another bride's dress. It probably has bad energy around it." And I was like, "Whatever." I'm
What
trying
is
to
that? Yeah.
because
Mm.
they wanted me to spend almost double the price.
Bad
So
energy.
right, she was like, "You don't
Wow.
want another bride's dress." I was like,
This is my
if it's
something
something
borrowed. Okay.
right,
So
exactly. Exactly. So then, because that dress still retails for such a high value, I sold it for $2,000.
oh wow.
So
Years later.
yeah. And so we ended up going to Paris shortly after I sold it. So we basically like spent the money in Paris.
Yeah.
So, but I felt like it was the right thing, because I told myself, if I spend this kind of money on a dress, I'm going to sell this dress. And I posted it on Tradesy and OfferUp. And I was like, oh, maybe it won't sell. Maybe it won't be a big deal if it doesn't sell. And then out of nowhere, this bride messaged me and said that
Did
she
you
wanted it.
post you in it in your wedding dress, like your wedding dress?
Yeah.
Of
Uh-huh.
course. Yeah, that sold
Yeah.
quickly, I'm sure.
Yeah. Especially because it was
You should have did an auction.
I know. So I sold it like as gently used. Like, there were some tears in the tool that you wouldn't be able to see in photos, but it's your bridal day. So I wanted her to know, what happened to the dress. I did not dry clean the dress at all. So I was like, it hasn't been cleaned. This is what I wore. If you want to buy it and get it altered to fit your body and get it, whatever, it's $2,000. So she bought it, and, when I was, and now I can't, it's called this, what is the song? Major in D at Canon in D. Okay,
Yes.
so when
We
I
thought
was,
about that one. That song.
okay,
Yeah.
so I think it was on Father of the Bride or something. So when I was at the post office, I went to this post office in Little Tokyo in downtown LA. That song was playing when I walked into the post office.
With your wedding
I'm
dress.
with my wedding dress. I'm like, it was meant to be. And no one would have believed me, but I was with my Candace when I made the minor again. And I was like, Candace, this is the song that I walked down the aisle to. And I was like, this was meant, like, this was exactly how it was supposed to happen.
Oh, it's perfect.
And I kept the other dress and the veil and stuff. So if my daughter ever wants, and before I sold it, this is how ridiculous I am. Before I sold it, I like rented like a really expensive camera, took some more pictures in it, took pictures of my daughter in the dress. Like, that's how ridiculous I am.
I like that though. You took pictures of her, so she's little and she's just in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be so cute. Oh, you should send. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get you to send me one of those just for me to add to that. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, but she was not having it, so she was annoyed in the picture. But I was like, whatever, I'm taking
whatever. And when you get older, you'll actually like this.
Yes.
So with your dress, because we didn't talk too much about this, but I know that you took, like, how did you get everything with you? You traveled with 2 gowns.
It was
and a cake. And then wait, I'm sorry. Was Leon with you? Because
no,
you left from your bachelorette party from Miami, right?
Yeah, he wasn't with me. Him and Chloe traveled to the Bahamas together, and I traveled with my dress. I tried to pare it down as much as I could, but I still had a whole bunch of stuff with me. It was not ideal. I was like, if I was rich, I would like have had somebody else fly with me to hold all my stuff because it was just too much. And it was overwhelming to go from Miami with all that stuff to the
and you went from LA to Miami with it.
Yeah, I went from LA to Miami, then Miami to the Bahamas, and then I was going to keep the cake, so I was going to try to resell it, but it rained like 3 times during the reception and ceremony, and it was like kind of sticky because they used fondant on the fake cake. So I left it. I was like, whatever, maybe y'all can salvage it and give it to another bride. I left it with my wedding planner.
Right. Did you put your dress in, did you keep it in like the garment bag, or did you were they both together, like your second and your first, or?
Yeah, but the second one was like in a plastic bag inside the garment bag.
Gotcha.
And I had like my shoes and I think in the bag too. So it was massive. It was like so ridiculous. Luckily, when you fly with a wedding dress, for the most part, the flight attendants try to help you and like hang it.
So did they take it from you and they hung it up for
you? They hung it for me on the first flight, like to LA, and then to Miami. To Miami, and then from Miami back, they one flight attendant was like, no, you need to like shove it in the overhead. And the other flight attendant, he was an alpha. So so I felt like it was like this was bad. It was like the black connection. He was like, no, I'm not about to have you put your wedding dress in this overhead.
Right, stuff your wedding dress up there, yeah.
Right. Because she was like, this is we can only hang people that's in first class, their stuff up. He was like, no, I'm about to hang your wedding dress up. And then he was like, and then what do you guys want to drink? I'm giving you free drinks.
Oh. So I'm assuming it was easier to travel back because you traveled back as a family too, though, right?
We traveled back as a family, but no. Traveling back, I was like, look, parents, I gave my wedding dress to my parents. I put it in their big suitcase, and they checked it to their house. And then somehow, like when I visited my parents, I just took the dress back to LA.
Okay.
But no, so we travel a lot lighter back. I was like, I'm not taking this stuff with me.
Take it all. I'm done. I don't need this anymore for a while.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, I've thought about what I'm gonna do as far as that goes, and I feel like giving my dress to someone because we're getting married. We're arriving in Mexico on Tuesday. We're getting married on Saturday, and then we're staying in Mexico until Wednesday. But people will be leaving before then, so somebody's gonna take my dress back to wherever they're going, and then I'll get it when I get it, just because. So,
we left on that Wednesday too. Are you gonna go anywhere afterwards? Or are you using Mexico as your honeymoon?
We're using Mexico as our honeymoon.
That's good.
We said that like we're gonna do a 1-year trip or something. But either way, I mean, we're gonna be there for a good amount of time anyway. Yeah. So Yeah, it'll be nice. So what would you say are what was the best and the worst thing about planning a destination wedding?
It was because of my personality. I wanted to be involved in everything. And in this day and age, there's so many ways that you can research weddings, and it was very overwhelming. So I think there was just too many visions out there. And so me trying to whittle down, like, there were so many times where I Googled luxurious wedding on a budget. So I think the hardest part really was just trying to stay within my budget constraints and still trying to find like high end things that made my wedding feel luxurious. The best part was just being there. It was so fun. Like from the time that I walked down the aisle until the wedding was over, it was just fun. Even when it rained, it was like it didn't stop the party. Um, we did plan on having like an exit with like the sparklers, but somehow my wedding planner gave the sparklers to my friend Wesley's boyfriend, and he tried to light them all up at one time, and it was like this big fireball. It was like I feel like I was like, wait, is that a fireball over there? It was like
That's your sparkler exit. Yeah.
it was so crazy, but because the Junkanoo band had just left, everyone was still like, "Yay!" So it didn't really matter that much. And the weird part was our exit. We had rented like a white Mercedes to exit, but then Chloe, our daughter, was whining and like she wanted to go with us. And then one of our groomsmen was like, "Can I ride in the front seat?" I was like, "What? This is our like," and I just was like, "Yeah, whatever." It was so ridiculous. I was like, "We should have just got on the buses with y'all. Like, if we were
Yeah,
gonna
we're gonna all ride together. Yeah.
right, we could have saved like $200. That could have gone to tip the makeup artist. You had just brought that up. um, yeah,
Okay.
it was just magical. Oh, I didn't. There's so many things I'm remembering. I didn't mention that we took first look pictures at our one of our top choices. So our top choice really was to get married at the one and only Ocean Club at the Cloisters. So those are probably the pictures that most people really enjoyed seeing. Were our first look photos at the Cloisters that look like these ancient Grecian
Is that the
whatever.
one with the stairs? Like he's taking you
Yes,
down? Oh,
yes.
okay.
So those are the Cloisters. So the Cloisters cost about $5,000 just to walk there and say I do. And it comes with white chairs and water. That's it. So we did not get married at the Cloisters, but instead we snuck onto the property because it's easy to sneak onto that part. We did all of our first look pictures there, and then we hopped back into all our respective cars because he rode in one car and I rode in another with my family and stuff, and then headed off to the wedding. So we
Oh.
so I felt like it was like since we couldn't have our wedding there because it was so cost restrictive. Like people like at the one and only have weddings there that are like $50,000, $100,000.
Right.
So I felt like we got to experience that part of it for free. I thought that was awesome. And we
Did you
got to
have
have
to
our
did you have to get them to did you have to get approval for that? Or
no, because you can go onto that part of the property. Like there's no gate or whatever. You just
right.
drive onto it. You can take as many pictures as you want. But for
Wow.
whatever reason, there's to have a wedding there, they like charge you like it's crazy. So yeah, so we had our first look pictures there, and see, and that you know what that right there, just that example right there, is the reason why I was so stressed out in doing the wedding planning. It's because I can't take no for an answer.
So you're gonna
And so,
you have to figure out how
right,
you could do it.
yes,
So
exactly.
I looked
So,
at the cloisters. I couldn't do the cloisters. So how can I do something at the cloisters? So
right,
that took a few more days or whatever.
yes.
Did you do welcome bags?
No, but the hotel provided. They said welcome to the Pfeiffer Stewart wedding, and they gave everybody a rum cake.
Oh, that's
So
nice. So they did their own thing for you.
they did their own thing for us. And I didn't give my bridesmaids any gifts because I felt like paying for their makeup. was my gift to them. That's what I
Yes, I
said.
actually just did I have a interview with my makeup artist that I'm taking with me,
Uh-huh.
and that was one of her things was saying that, that is a gift. And
Yeah.
then also that she also talked about, which is, it has nothing to do with this at all, but like if people ask you like, what would you like, or what's your gift, what would you like to have, a register. People do like honeymoons, but you can also do makeup too. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, I never thought about
Yeah, you
that.
can gift me my makeup. Yeah, that's a
I
whole
like
thing.
that. I like that.
Yeah,
Let
but
me see.
anyway.
What else? I feel like there's some other things that. Oh, I originally wasn't gonna use the DJ that we ended up using. I was gonna use a New Orleans DJ that I went to high school with. That's like blowing up, and he was gonna give me a really good rate, but then he was gonna have to rent all of his equipment, which was gonna cost the same as me getting a DJ in the Bahamas. So I ended up not using
And you would
him.
have had to pay for him to come and all of that other
Yes,
stuff too.
I was gonna have to
Yeah.
pay for him to come, his hotel, everything. So those are the things that stressed me out. But just the wedding itself was so fun. Then the day after the wedding, one of my Candace, my maid of honor, she was dating this guy who was like knew a lot of people in the Caribbean. So he got us a yacht the next day for free. So we were on this yacht with everybody that was available to get on it, and all drinks were included. So it was just like an amazing experience. I feel like I legitimately had my dream wedding, my luxurious wedding on a beer budget. And I'm not gonna. I mean, I feel like I did. It was a lot of money, but for everything that we got and everything
Yeah.
that we put in the flights, the hotel, the food, the drinks, the dress, everything. I don't know if I've seen it done that way for that amount of money.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting you to say that your budget was what it was when you just said that. So, yes, I agree.
Yeah,
And
because
once everybody sees your photos, we weren't even there, but yeah, it definitely doesn't. You did wonderfully with this, and it seems like, I mean, you gave us a lot of really great tips as far as how to do it at the same
yeah,
time. So that's the beauty. I think that's the big. Your photos are amazing, but the huge takeaway from your wedding is the budget.
the budget, the research. I did like that everybody was able to order what they wanted. Before everyone got to order. People ordered steak, lamb chops. It was because we had such a small wedding party, but we still had to meet our $3,000 food and beverage minimum.
Also, you
So
didn't have like fish or chicken. It was just like a full menu, and everybody could pick. Did you do
yeah,
buffet, or was it plated, or how
no,
was
it
that?
was it was plated, and we had a champagne toast, and um, we had the full bar. I think I went with like the low grade one. And then I think I added like a couple of extra options.
Hmm.
So I asked one of my coworkers that drinks like a lot. I was like, "Are these options okay if you went to a wedding?" And he was like, "Yeah, I would be fine with this." So I just kind of engaged as many people that were willing to talk about what they liked about going to weddings, what their wedding experience was, and um, that's how I did it all in 90 days. It was a lot, but it was so worth it. And then I was on cloud nine for so long after, and we went to Hawaii the week after that.
Oh, really? Just you two?
No, we went with Chloe. Oh my gosh, I was like, I just wanted to be us, but it was fine. It was fun. It was fine. Um, and then we did our 1 year anniversary, and we went to Puerto Rico. But we actually have two anniversaries because a lot of people that do destination weddings, they get legally married in the States.
I was
And
gonna ask
so
about that.
So we actually got legally married since we are, have a Louisiana connection. We got legally married on February 17th of 2015, which was Mardi Gras Day
Oh,
that year. So we got married on Mardi Gras. And there's a lot of people that we didn't tell. We only told our parents, and I didn't even tell everybody in my bridal party. I just told a couple of people because I didn't want people to feel like this wasn't our real wedding. Because to me, that was our real wedding, but we just legally got. So we have our February 17th and then our May 24th anniversary.
so do you celebrate both?
Yeah, but we secretly celebrate the
The February.
February one. Yeah, because I
So
don't.
yeah, I'm curious about that, and that's something with destination weddings that when I was first starting, we were looking at a lot of different forums, and then they have the different legal requirements and all these other crazy things. So I ended up interviewing. Oh yeah, it was Anne and Nancy at Fêtes in France. They're
Uh-huh.
French wedding planners, amazing. Anyway, they basically told me that anybody who gets married and has a destination wedding in France, it is not illegal, it's a civil, because France is so very strict. They have like a residency requirement. You have to be there for like 90 days or something like that. And then on top of that, it's the paperwork. And anyone who lives in France has to do their paperwork ahead of time anyway. And I was just asking questions about it. And she said something that just was really great. And she was saying that basically no matter what, you have to do your paperwork first. Everyone has to do their paperwork no matter where you are. And then you have your ceremony and then you do it that way. So where you are doesn't matter. But the other, I don't even think she said that. I think I said that part. But her point was just that the marriage is when you guys are doing your vows in front of your loved ones and committing yourselves to each other, and then everything
Yeah,
else is paperwork. That's just paperwork. Like it doesn't, it is what
exactly.
it is. So that
Exactly.
is true though. So it's nice to for you to even bring that part up too, because that's something that I think if people knew that it happens so often, it wouldn't really matter. Like there's so
Yeah.
many websites and so much attention paid to the legal requirements because you want it done right here and right there. And some places it's really easy to do that. But then when you have to deal with like the languages and you have to get an apostille, which is like the
Exactly.
it's okay to do it, and it's the stamp from that country, then you have to get it translated, and you have to do this and do that, and you got to get your blood work, and you got to do this and that and that. So, um, it's nice, it's just nice to hear. So just so you guys know, if you're not thinking about it or you don't know what to do, just do what's best and what's easiest.
Yeah, exactly. Because that would have been an extra layer of stress to have to do that to meet the residency requirements, or since we weren't going to meet those residency requirements, meet up with at that guess whoever the person was, the magistrate in that area, to come and say that we could get married. That would have been stressful after the whole week that we had leading up to it. I will say, the week of the wedding, I cried a lot though. The week like leading up to it, like anytime people would say something, like my coworkers, they all gave me like $140 or something for the what, just like as my gift, and I like started crying. Like
Just the
someone,
emotions started to
it
flow.
was so much. And then someone was just asking me how I was going, and I just started crying. I just was like saying, and I'm just trying to take it all in, but it's just a lot. Um, my issue with my cake vendor, the fake cake vendor, that was a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Yeah.
It was just so much. And you just, unfortunately, weddings have like, these high expectations, and it's like your one shot, because you don't really think you're gonna get married again unless you do like a vow renewal type of
Right.
thing. So you're putting all your eggs into this one basket, and you want it to be the best day ever. So much pressure. I love when I talk to brides. They're like, "Oh, I don't have any pressure. I just feel like whatever." But then when I see their weddings, I'm like, I would never have wanted that for myself.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah.
I know I would.
Okay, Chevita.
That was my shady moment. No.
No shade. Sips tea. Sips tea. Let me go ahead and take a little sip. No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. But there are some people who just are ridiculously lax and they're just like, hey, it is what it is. And there's nothing you can do to shake that at the same time. So, but I do
Yeah.
understand what you're saying in both ways. So, what advice would you give to a future Desti that does not include it's your day, do what you want to do, don't let anybody, all that kind of stuff, and then enjoy it because it goes by so quickly? You can't say those cliche
Yeah.
things.
Those things are true, though. I will
They
say.
are, but
I
we know
second all
that.
those.
Give
Those
us
are
something
true.
else.
I do love the term that you've coined, "desties." I've never heard of that before. I think that's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
you. Um, I would say make sure your dress looks exactly how you want it to look before your wedding day. And don't be afraid to go ham until your dress looks exactly how you want it to be because those pictures last forever. And I'll also say if you know that some people are not going to come to your wedding, to cut out the wedding invitation cost, don't send them a wedding invitation. Just send them a wedding announcement after. That's a lot cheaper, and that will save you hundreds of dollars.
Ah. But what do you do with the people that are upset? Like I personally, we did not send invitation to people that we just. I mean, we just there were no just because types of invitations. But at the same time, we've heard a lot of feelings. How do you do? Like, what are your thoughts on
Oh,
that though?
for the hurt feelings, we did a cheaper invitation too. So we had our super high end invitation that cost a lot of money. And I was like, and then we bought a few extra dozen, maybe like 40. I don't even know because I know I told you we sent out 80. I have to check the numbers because we had the ones that were really expensive, and then we did like some website, like paperless post or whatever, and they printed
Mm-hmm.
out the invitation. We mailed those out. So we had our tier one invitations and our tier two invitations. So everybody got an
Ah,
invitation.
so you sent them all at the same time, but the people that
Yeah,
you knew weren't coming, you sent
yeah,
them the tier
yeah,
twos. Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. Tier one. I'm taking notes. I like that.
Because you don't want people to feel like they don't matter because they do,
Right.
but you also have to take into consideration you and your husband's budget or their family that's helping you pay for this. You just want to stretch the money out, but people, those are the things that people don't talk about. They don't talk about that. I didn't have enough money to send out everybody invitations, so I
Right.
sent them like a cheaper one, but it happens all the time.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because that's something that I hadn't even considered or thought of. But I'm sure that that's going to help somebody for real. I love that, and I'm adding that. That's an excellent tip.
And if at all possible, please wear shoes during the wedding because I took my shoes off a lot, and I could tell the pictures where I had my shoes on
When
versus
you're
the one where I was trying to stand on my tippy toes.
the
It just
dragon
looks
dragging your
better.
dress.
Yeah, it
Oh,
just
your
looks better.
posture, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks better in the pictures. So yeah, your feet might hurt. It just depends. Or get more comfortable shoes to wear that could last you. So you might have, some nice ones for photos, but wear something that because the dress was tailored to you with your shoes on. So if you care about that kind of stuff, then wear your shoes.
I'm having you back, just so you know. You're coming back.
So it's weddings. I do feel like for a lot of people that I've met that got married, I said after you got married, do you feel like you could be like a wedding planner or something because you gather so much information for this one day, and you're like, I have all this information. What am I supposed
What
to
am I
do
supposed
with
to
it?
do with this? Yeah.
Right. So I was like very flattered. I'm so glad that you were able to connect with me because it kind of validated that yes, I put out my blood, sweat, and tears into this, but it was worth it. And
Yeah, and
people,
now you're paying it forward.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
If
Well,
I would love if a bride could find another bride and share the floral costs and share other costs, I think that would be. I feel like that they should have a website for that, like
we'll
share
see.
my costs.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm working with that and working on that. So obviously right now I have like my own little corner, it's bridefriends.com. But that's the plan, and not in a forum type, but literally like right now with your show notes, it will have your budget breakdown that you're offering in addition to your photos, because my biggest problem was you go on Pinterest or you're on Instagram, and all these weddings are amazing, but you don't know how much anything costs. So if
Right.
you love this place setting, this is how much I pay for this. Or if you love I loved your wood, the cutout laser
Yeah.
cut wood names, you see those photos, but you have no idea how much they cost or how much they could cost or should cost. So this is
Right.
why it's just important for us to just be bride friends and share. Just share, share, share. You went through so much to do this yourself. Why not share the wealth?
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody share the wealth. Share.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, and get Shivari chairs if you can. No.
First you say just know how to say no, and now you're telling people to get the Shivari chairs. Okay.
If they,
See.
I mean, literally, I would toss and turn in my bed. Like, do I want the white flip chairs, like, or do I want Shivari chairs? Like, that's how ridiculous I was about this.
Well, yeah, I died about napkins. One more. I do have a. Did you do anything to kind of memorialize your planning process? Like, say for me, I have this, but I have a blog. So I've been blogging about every single day. I blog and do a journal entry from my 200-day mark up until it'll go probably up until like around the wedding day. But that's the like just to kind of memorialize it, to remember everything. Is there anything that you did to kind of remember your planning?
No, I mean, I did have the wedding website, but no, I didn't. And the reason I didn't was because shortly after the wedding, my wedding photographer, she got interest in from a few blogs to post, our pictures, and they asked me questions about the wedding.
Oh,
So
so
I
you're
felt like that
forever
was,
out there. That's how I found you. So yeah.
yeah. So I felt like that was the way that my wedding was memorialized, if you will. And I think that's how a lot of it happens, because there was a wedding that was my wedding that I looked at like, this is how I want my wedding to go. They got married in the Bahamas. They actually did it from a cruise ship and stopped in that port. But everything looked so beautiful. And that was how I started it off, and I'm sure that's how their wedding was memorialized as well.
So if someone is curious, how like I guess how do you get on the blogs? Is like how did your photographer put your photos out there, or did you kind of reach out to share your story? How do people do that?
Well, I feel like I reached out to Muna Lucci and they didn't respond, but I think that Martina posted photos, and first Snippet and Ink, they reached out to Martina, or I guess she sent the photos out, and then Muna Lucci followed after.
Interesting.
And I think Mona Lucci posted our pictures like 2 or 3 times on their Instagram.
Mhm.
And I felt like after that, it was just like that was the icing on the cake. And I felt like I was able to close that chapter and just end it with a smile. Like, I didn't even need to do more.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, but shortly after the wedding, we did reach out to our wedding planner and we were like, "Hey, we had an amazing time. Our pictures came out great. If you wanted to partner up, we could help you with your wedding website because my husband's a graphic designer." So we did reach out to her because I still felt the urge to like have an outlet for all the wedding stuff that I had gone through.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't really think that she does wedding planning like full time.
Mm,
So
okay.
that's
Which
why I
could
think it was
explain
just,
why she's not out there,
yeah,
out there.
exactly, exactly. I think, she just knows a few people. She's done a few weddings, but it wasn't. So yeah, so at the time I was like, still trying to figure out ways because I still had the wedding. Like I was like, I have so much information, I gotta get it out. It's seeping out of my brain, and I feel like every day it kind of dissipates a little bit more, and I'm just left with a warm and fuzzy feeling. But I mean, I still feel like my bachelorette party. There was a lot of things I could have changed about that, and my dress that could have fit different. But yeah, but I feel like I had an amazing time. It was so fun, and I sold my dress and went to Paris. So
Yeah, you can't beat that. So yeah, that's an amazing repurpose. Spend
yeah,
it, sell it. That's great. Well, thank
yeah.
you for sharing.
Oh, this was such a fun walk down memory lane. I talked about the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, you did.
Ended up being so perfect. It was so worth it. And I felt like I blew my friends away. Like they were like, "Wow, we thought this was gonna be, just Shavita's getting married. Let me help her make this day special." But instead, like I already had it all taken care of. It was perfect, and they were. I think I was happy. They were happy. It was perfect.
Well, good. It was perfect. I'm in love with it. I'm still in love with it. I can't wait to
I'm
dig
so
into all the
glad. I
photos you
can't
sent.
wait to see your wedding. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. 'Cause I feel like every year weddings get better and better. Like they have these new acrylic invitations out that my friends
Yeah, I
are.
peeped that. We didn't do that, but yeah, yeah, those are kind of crazy.
So Parchment by Dami, that's my line sister. She did my wedding invitations, like the tier one ones.
What's it
And
called?
that's her company is called Parchment. And her name is Dami Lola. So it's Parchment by Dami.
Hmm.
And she's a mother of twins, a wife, and she owns her own stationery, I guess, stationery business in New York. So that's one of my vendors.
I'm losing you, I
Oh,
think.
you are?
Oh,
Oh, no.
nope, not anymore
Sorry.
now. I got you now. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's one of my vendors that I wanted to shout out. My line sister that did my wedding invitations. But I can tell like her work is getting better and better every day. It's like these invitations, like I thought a couple of years ago when we got married that the invitations couldn't get better, and they get so much better every year.
Yeah, the creativity is off the charts. Yeah,
It's kind
it's
of
amazing.
intimidating because before you could just have like a regular white envelope and white thing with some black letters saying "Come to my wedding," but
Yeah, no, not anymore.
not anymore. Oh,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, thank you.
this was fun. Yeah, call me back for any follow up if I said something wrong and you want me to re-say it the right way, or like Wesley, I swear I did not forget you as my bridesmaid. I know you really hooked me up. You helped me with a lot of stuff.
Yes,
She,
Wesley is gonna get a super special shout out.
I know.
She was too
She
perfect. She just was a natural part of it. So
she was the one that convinced me because I was like, do I have to pay for everybody's transportation to and from the wedding location? Can they do?
yes,
And she was like, yes, Chevita, you do. I was like, all right, fine.
fine. They already flew all the way there, but I guess I do want them at the wedding, so I guess I got to get them there. So
And that's the best part about a destination wedding because you don't have people that get there late, that leaving early. No, you're not going anywhere else. You came here for this. You're going to stay the whole wedding
yeah,
and have fun.
but
Yeah, I know because I
um,
feel like I know what you're gonna say, or maybe you're not. But I did the one of the other reasons why we chose to have a destination wedding is I'm tired of going to people's weddings, spending all this money to fly there, pay for the hotel, and I only see you for like 20 minutes, and then you don't even really remember that I was at your wedding, and I spent a whole bunch of money. So no, like I want to remember this. I wanted to savor every moment. And that's why we chose.
yeah.
That's probably the real reason why we chose to have a destination.
But you know what that means? That means that you really had your nearest and dearest there with you, because a lot of people really just don't care and don't, when you have that many people, then that's when you're not able to eat and you're not able to really enjoy it. And you gotta, it's just like, oh, I'm just so sick of this. And you don't miss that person when they tip out and leave or whatever, because they don't really matter that much to you. So you had the people that you really wanted there. And it sounds like you made them, well, it looks like they had an amazing time. And you really wanted them there with you. So you kept them.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing. We're holding our people hostage. We call
exactly.
it. You're with us.
Yeah. Yes, you here for this whole. And my mom was like, "Wait, we're gonna be out for like it was like between 5 and 7 hours. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how it's, yeah.
She was like, that's too long." And then that day, it was like she was like, it was the perfect amount of time. I couldn't imagine it being like longer, shorter, whatever. Oh, are people eating outside? Are y'all gonna have the food outside?
Yeah, actually, our wedding is a private beach club, and it's completely outdoors. So the actual ceremony is gonna be out by the ocean, and that's the whole sand thing. But the whole thing is in sand. So like the cocktail hour is, in a separate
Oh,
area further out, and then there is a covering. It's called a palapa. I'm not sure if you know that. And that's where it'll be set up, and there we'll have the tables, and then there's a dance floor and the DJs. But everything is in sand, 100% for our full wedding, and it's 100% outdoors. So
okay. So the one thing that I didn't take into consideration the flies. When we were eating our food, there were so many flies. So Leon and I had the surf and turf, people eating their lamb chops. I think because it was such a fun time, it wasn't like we were just like flying, shooting them away. But you don't expect to have basically like a 5-star meal with flies everywhere. But
a 5-star barbecue.
It was
kind of
crazy the amount of flies. But once they took the food away, of course all the flies left. So that's something that shocked the crap out of me. I did not anticipate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something we're definitely gonna have to think of. The venue, they say that they do their, what's that? I guess is that considered an extermination, or I'm not sure what that word is. But whatever, fumigation. But I don't know how much flies care about fumigation. I think that's more for the mosquitoes. Flies don't care, I don't think. So.
Yeah, just ask. I would I think the one thing that I did ask someone, I was like, keep it real. Is it going to be this windy at the ceremony? Because I just need to know. They were like, yes, it is. So I think
your wedding was completely outdoors?
It was completely outdoors.
So how did you change your dress? Where did you go?
They had a bathroom, like the resort, and I just went in, and Ashley, one of my bridesmaids, she helped me. I was like, don't look at me. I don't have underwear on.
I'm so sorry.
Because my dress was like lace. So it's like, that's the thing. Like, if you have a lace dress on, you can't wear anything. Like, even
it's going to show.
Like,
yeah.
Anything will show. Yeah. So, yeah, I went commando on my wedding day, and I did not think that I was going to do that.
I think I don't want to say all of them, but I know that that's kind of a thing. So.
Oh, that's a thing?
Don't feel bad. That's a thing.
All right. Yeah. Even for the ones that wear the big poofy dresses?
Probably not with them. They don't have bras on, though. So.
That's true. Oh, and make sure, like, okay, I have this Victoria's Secret bag. I feel like it haunts me because in my some pictures from when our daughter was born, you could see like this Victoria's Secret bag, like the pink, like trim or whatever, like hanging out from one of the pictures. And the exact same thing on our wedding day. I put this Victoria's Secret bag on a chair.
So it's like your bag, like your favorite bag.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, it's like just I went to Victoria's Secret, bought some underwear, like the bags that you throw away.
Oh, so the pink stripe bag. Yeah.
Yeah. And I put like some lipstick and something in it. And then and there's some pictures where you can see that bag. I'll send you. So just like put the stuff away. Like never did put it away.
Do you have any getting ready tips? This is also personal at this point. I'm getting married so I'm just asking.
Let me think. Getting ready tips.
Like you're getting ready photos, you look great,
Okay. I did not. When I see brides that bought their bridesmaids the robes, I think, oh, should I have spent the money on that? At the time, I just felt like I didn't want to spend a few extra $100 on robes. Mm-hmm. I should have maybe told everyone, please bring your most beautiful robe to wear for photos like that. I didn't. I just had on a romper when I got my makeup done. So. And I was trying to utilize Martina, my photographer's time the best. So I think I told her, start taking photos at this time or whatever. So I was almost all the way made up by the time she started taking pictures.
Gotcha. But, do you wish that you would have done
Yes, I do. So a year later, Martina did our anniversary photos that I never posted, but she also did some boudoir photos. But I think my desire to engage Martina again was because there were some photos that I felt like I didn't get to capture because I just wasn't thinking about it. Not because she did a bad job or anything. I just didn't think let me put my robe on again, or let me borrow somebody's robe, just to look like this is me getting ready. Because one of my friends was completely made up in her wedding, but she put on a robe and she stood in the mirror like she was doing her mascara, even though you already know she's already made up.
Right. But it's just
for the photo op. So but she captured me, like my dad when he first saw me and gave me a hug. So there were some good pictures that were captured, but the getting ready. And then also when I was getting my makeup done, it just hit me everything was happening. It was all coming to fruition. And I just started crying when the lady was doing my makeup. So that was weird. It was like weird, and it was like one of those weird things. But she was the only one that saw. She was like, "Are you okay?" She probably was like, "Are you about to be a
I
runaway bride?"
I
Like,
swear I want to do this. I
right?
swear I want to do this.
It was just like so much. I was like, all these months of work are finally. So I don't even know when brides like you probably planned for it almost a year, probably. Um, so when it's that day, you're gonna be like, wow, it's all like coming together. It all has come together.
Yeah. Now, and uh, you have amazing arms. So, are you like a gym rat or what?
Okay, so I mean, I do go to the gym a little bit, like maybe twice a week. Sometimes I try to go more, like if I'm trying to like watch Instagram people and
That
but
motivation.
yeah, but I think it was just like I've always had these arms ever since high school. So
Did you play
um
sports?
I cheered, that's it. I did lose a lot of weight before the wedding. I feel like I lost like 10 pounds just from the stress. And
Yeah.
I was going to the gym. I made myself go to the gym almost every day, but I was just under a lot of stress too,
Okay.
just from planning. So I didn't realize, but stress really can make you lose weight.
Yeah, your arms are amazing. They
It was
they
it
look
was
great. They
thank
photograph very well.
thank you.
And your back and all that good stuff. Just I told you I fell in love with your photos. It's just like, oh my gosh, look at her arms, look at her hair and her just So
So funny because when you see the photos, you don't really know like that the bride like couldn't go to sleep thinking about her wedding chairs or like like the fact that I emphasized to my wedding coordinator that the Junkanoo performer had to be a female because sometimes they try to cheap out and do like just a guy, but I was like, it has to be a woman or else it'll look cheap. Like and she has to have a full costume. So you don't really like the pictures. I love that the pictures just make it look like it's effortless and perfect.
yeah,
But it doesn't capture all the blood, sweat, and tears, which is why your blog is so important because it's it it has to tell that side of the story. You have to go through all of that, to get to the other side and have your perfect wedding.
yeah. As I like, I say that we just need more than beautiful pictures to plan the
Yep,
big day. You need way more than photos. Photos are great, but you can definitely have too many photos, which you've already said. But more than that, what does it take to get there? What should I be thinking about? Help me out, something. So I happen to have two girlfriends who are Desties, but I just thought that I could definitely expand on this and help people out. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad that you're letting people know that you can be a Desti, but it could also be luxurious or be however you want it to be. It doesn't just have to be your one small cake and just you and your husband. It could be, you could have your traditional wedding, and still be a Desti all at the same time.
Absolutely. You can have your wedding where you want, how you want. And it's all about, and the thing, like your family helped you, but the alternative would be just waiting until you were able to do it how you want to do it. And who cares? You pick it how you want. So you are
Exactly.
an amazing example for Desties out there.
Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm sorry if I shared too much of everything, but that was the real thing of that's how it really went down. That's what I really was experiencing. You
Yeah,
know.
no, there's no such thing as oversharing. So I
Okay.
appreciate that so very much.
I think I'm excited for you in this next step and I hope that your day is as magical as you want it to be and more.
Thank you. I appreciate that.